Welcome to Inside the Cave. Today's broadcast sponsor is Parkcrest Dental Group, the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletics. Today's guest is Missouri State women's tennis head coach Mallory Weber. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Tom?
Doing great. Well, how are you handling the quarantine these days?
It's definitely a weird time. Definitely something that I've never lived through. I think most people obviously have never lived through, and it's definitely an adjustment to what we're used to as coaches and what we're used to as teams. But so far so good, and very thankful that my family, myself, my team is healthy and safe.
Technology is such a big thing these days, and wondering how you and the team are staying connected through the new technology.
Yeah, it's been a fun challenge. We are through text, especially on GroupMe throughout the year. So it wasn't a huge change with that as far as texting and staying that way connected. But one of the biggest changes that we've had is that we had the opportunity to use Blackboard as a way to kind of create a different platform. So that's been new for us, and that's been really fun to get to create some of those things on Blackboard that we can do. You know, I can have them watch some tennis related videos on there. They can do some readings and some mental stuff and some leadership stuff. And that's something that we've never really done before on that platform. So we're about 2 weeks into that now. We started that after spring break. And that's, you think of Blackboard, you think of that's just where they're doing their classes. But to add the tennis piece to that has been new, and it's been successful so far.
I recently saw a really neat tweet that your team did. Staying connected was the theme. Talk a little bit about that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. One of our freshmen actually had a friend on a different team that had done something similar, and she sent it out to the GroupMe, and she was like, we should try to do this. And I was just excited. They all bought into it and had some fun with it. And that was a really good way for us, to stay connected, and just a fun way for everyone else to see that, we may not all be together. All the sports teams right now obviously aren't together, but that we have this commonality and we can still have fun with this.
Well, and there's some real talent on your team too, juggling and volleying the tennis ball. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's what we spend our time on in practice. We work on those skills now, but it's fun for them to get to be a little bit goofy and to have that fun at home and just, obviously this is, scary time and you don't know what's next. So to kind of take a break from that and to get outside and to do something to take your mind off it is definitely a positive.
Today's broadcast sponsor is Parkcrest Dental Group. We'd also like to thank Hotel Vandevort, Springfield's first urban boutique hotel. Well, Coach, let's talk about the fall season first for you guys. You do split it up into the fall and the spring, but talk about fall for you and the success you had there.
Sure. For tennis, our fall season is pretty much our individual season. So we come in and we'll travel to tournaments as a team, but it's flighted and it's an individual draw and things like that, where our spring season is our team and our dual and our conference season. But I think we had a really successful fall, especially the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, where they do the individual tournament. We saw a lot of success there. Ellie Burger won her singles flight at that tournament, and then Anna Alons and Allison Biskulich won the doubles flight at the Valley tournament. So that's always kind of a way for us to see what Valley competition is going to look like throughout the year. So for us to have those successes in those championships, and we had a number of players get into the semis and finals and get second or third as well. So that was a really good October for us. And then the top of our lineup got to go to the ITA regionals, that's a really special tournament. It's one of my favorite tournaments, about a 10-state radius here throughout the Midwest. So you get to see the best of the best, some ranked teams. And we actually had our number one doubles team, Allie Darter and Ellie Burger, made it through to the rounds to go up against some of those schools, some of those bigger schools, and find some success was really promising in the fall.
Yeah, fall's really find your team's identity, isn't it? I mean, it's individual identity time for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about the tennis season is that we can come in as freshmen that come in and you have time to figure out who we are as a team, that we're not starting with our first game in August, that, even though we're playing tournaments and we're starting in September, that if we don't have the most success or we have a ton, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about us, getting our training regimen right, finding, who fits with who in doubles, setting some of those team goals, getting our fitness where it needs to be so that when we hit January and we're actually in our dual matches where everything matters, we're there. So I feel like we're really lucky that we have that fall season to train and to be in season and to have those challenges.
You had a neat team bonding trip to Orlando too. Talk a little bit about that.
We did. That was something very special. In the time that I've been here and been the head coach, we have not had the chance to do that. And, we had fundraised for a couple of years to have that opportunity. So the USTA, which is the tennis governing body, their main facility is in Orlando, and it's a massive facility. I mean, hard courts, clay courts, collegiate courts, it's huge. It's the epicenter of tennis in America for sure. And so for us to be able to go down there, it was a really special experience. We got to train. We didn't play any matches. It was literally just a training trip. So we got to go down, do 2-a-days, be outside in January, which was pretty great. And then also just, we had that team bonding experience down there. We stayed in a big house. We were we had meals together. We had family game night every night. So it was a lot of team building in that respect too. And I think that set the tone really well for going into that spring season.
To do that when it's probably cool, different weather, climate here, that's got to be huge for your team.
For sure. I mean, the spring season, we start in January. We're supposed to be, an outdoor sport, but very much in the Midwest. I mean, we're the southernmost in the conference for tennis. And, we're lucky to get outside by the end of February or early March even. So for us to have that opportunity to be outside in January and just to train, because the most important time of our season is obviously that conference season and the conference tournament in April, which should be outside. You never know, it might snow,
Right.
I guess, but should be outside. So for us to get that training early was really helpful, and just it's a fun environment to be able to get outside. It's always more fun to play tennis outside than to be in. So
Absolutely. Once again, today's broadcast is being brought to you by Parkcrest Dental Group, and a special thank you as well to Bambino's Cafe. Great food, great service, your neighborhood. Order Bambino's to go at bambinoscafe.com. Well, Coach, your season started, as you had mentioned, January 24th in Omaha, and then ended very abruptly in March 8th, I guess, in Springfield. Both wins, by the way, for your team. Talk a little bit about the development. I'll ask you about the season here in a little bit, but the development of your players this year before the season actually stopped.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a quick season, definitely unexpected for sure. But, we were 11 matches into the year, had seen some success, had definitely had some slip away. But I think our goal as a team, our focus is having everything ready to go in April, because that's when our conference season starts. Like, we obviously have goals before then, but our main focus is that we have to do everything we can to get it right going into April, so that by the time we get to conference play, we can have a good conference season and set ourselves up to have a chance in the conference tournament. And I think we were trending that way. When everything got canceled, we were getting ready to go on our spring break trip down into Louisiana. We had 4 non-conference matches left, and we were 4-7 on the year, and definitely some of those slipped away, but we were heading in the right direction. I think we were starting to figure some things out in doubles. The fight was there in singles. So I liked where we were with the team. We were going to host the conference tournament in April, and being able to play that out at Cooper, I think, we would have had a real chance, which is what all you can ask for. So I think we were heading in the right direction, and definitely unfortunate it got cut short.
Well, and you were preseason ranked 4th in the conference. Do you think you may have improved on those numbers heading in?
You never know. I think we definitely had the chance. The one thing I love about the Valley in tennis is that on any given day, any team can beat anyone. It's so even top to bottom, which it's not like that in a lot of sports. And, for a long time in tennis, it wasn't like that either. It's only been the last few years that it has really evened out. And that makes it a lot of fun. It makes it that you can have one not so good weekend and you can pick it right back up the next day, and you still have a chance at the end of it all. So, obviously you want to win those conference matches to give yourself the best seed, but the year we won it 2 years ago, I think we were the 4 or 5 seed, and we upset won. So it's just on any given day, we had that chance, and that's what I was and the girls were most looking forward to.
Really disappointing, I know, to not be able to host the conference tournament, as you'd mentioned. That would have been huge. Obviously, that home court advantage is big in a lot of sports.
Yeah, Cooper's a really special place to play, and we're certainly lucky to be able to use that facility. I mean, not many D1 schools can say that they have a 12-court indoor and a 16-court outdoor facility. So, I mean, most Power Fives can't even say that. So the fact that we have that facility to use and it's so well kept, it's just a huge asset, and we were really looking forward to hosting it out there. It would have definitely been a fun environment, but I'm sure it'll be back, and hopefully we'll get that chance again.
Coach, you'd mentioned Ellie Burger. She was off to a great start. Talk a little bit about her and her progress.
Yeah, Ellie's been great for us. I mean, she was a junior on the team this year, and she's just progressed so well from her freshman to junior year. She's had a lot of success. Even when she was a freshman, she's made all conference teams and things like that. But, we started her out lower in the lineup as a freshman. She would play 5 and 6 in singles. She's always been a good doubles player for us, always played one double. She has great hands, great athleticism. So always really strong in doubles, and then just a huge asset for us in the bottom of the lineup her first 2 years, always bouncing in between 5 and 6. And then she's just continued to grow, and I think her fight on the court really, really sets her apart. She doesn't like to lose. I think that definitely comes from the family. They're a super athletic family, and losing's not an option there. So I think her fight on court is really strong, and she digs into these matches, and she gets pretty determined to win them. So, she ended the year, when we ended our season, she was playing 3 for us, and was doing really well. I think she was 8-2 in the fall. Her match against when we were playing Arkansas, she didn't get to finish. She was up in the second set in that match. So she was competing every single match she was out there. And it's been really fun to see how she's grown in these 3 years, and really excited to see, what she does in her senior season.
We talked fall and spring. Do you see a player progress much during the year, starting off in the fall and getting a little better as the season progresses into the spring?
They definitely do. I think I would say across the board, the girls got better from fall to spring, just because, they're training in the summer, they're doing things in the summer, but it's still just not the grind of what we do every day. So when they get here in the fall, even though they might have been working out or they might have played some tournaments, you're not playing 20 hours a week like you are when we're in season. So, it takes a little bit for that rust to come off in the fall. So I would say more times than not, you're seeing improvement from fall to spring, and just with repetition and confidence in how they're playing. So I would say overall as a team, it was definitely it improved from fall to spring. And I think the fall is especially important too for our freshmen, just to kind of get their feet wet, get some of those tournaments that they're actually playing a lot, but that they're nervous because this is their first college experience. So it's kind of a different emotion there. So balancing that, you see a lot of growth, especially in those young ones.
Again, a special thank you to our broadcast sponsor, Parkcrest Dental Group. We'd also like to thank the Doubletree by Hilton Springfield, located at Glenstone and Kearney, where a warm cookie always awaits your arrival. Well, Coach, senior Allie Darter, I know just recently was spotlighted on the Missouri Valley Conference site, but she's been special to you, I know, and has had kind of a neat project that she's been heading at Missouri State. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. Allie's our only senior in the spring, and she's done a lot during her time at Missouri State. Like, not only on the tennis court playing high in our lineup, predominantly 1 singles, 1 and 2 doubles for us the entire 4 years, but off the court, she's an asset to the university as well, which makes her just kind of the complete package. But this past year, Allie's our SAC president. She took that on herself. That was no prompting of my part. She's been involved in SAC, I think, since she was a freshman, and has continued to grow in her leadership there. And one of the projects that she started this year was the Bandana Project, with a focus on mental health, which it's been really cool to see her take that on, and to provide leadership with that, just because the NCAA is obviously focusing a lot on the mental health of student athletes right now. That's a huge topic. It's a hot button topic. So for her to to take that and to try to grow it, not only just with our athletes, but with the entire student population. She was trying to get professors involved. Cliff Smart was involved with it. So essentially what her project is she was passing out green bandanas, and it was basically that if you saw a person on campus or even in the community, but especially on campus, that if they had a green bandana on in their backpack or their purse or their bag or whatever, they were a safe person that you could talk to, and that they had resource cards. And if you were struggling mentally, if you were struggling with thoughts of suicide, if you were struggling with depression, they had some resource cards that you could go up to them and ask them and hopefully get the help that you needed. So a really cool project that she spent a lot of time on, and she was going out to all the different groups, the sororities, the fraternities, everyone across campus, just trying to grow this project. So just really proud of her efforts, and really, really great to see a senior step up and have that leadership role like that.
Absolutely. You'd mentioned SAC, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. She was working with, and you'd mentioned Cliff Smart, and he was really jumping on board with this project as well.
Yeah, so it was obviously big with the athletes. She had buy-in from the teams right away, which was great because the student athletes, like, we want to be a positive force on campus, whether it's tennis or any sport. We want to be seen in a positive light and have a positive impact on the community and our campus. So she had the buy-in from the athletes, but to get the university as a whole to buy in, especially the president, especially Cliff Smart, for him to buy into a project like that, I think it gave it a lot of weight and a lot of merit, and you saw a lot of other people trying to buy in and to help too. So it's definitely a worthy cause, and it's definitely something that it impacts student athletes greatly, but it impacts everybody greatly, whether you're an employee, whether you're an adult, whether you're a student. Mental health is real, and I think it's a really great project, and I hope that it continues.
You bet. Well, being the only senior, do we know yet if she plans to come back next year?
Well, she got into grad school. So Allie is a speech and language pathology major, and she got into grad school at Missouri State. So that's a huge
Great.
step for sure. That's a step in the right direction. But anytime you can get someone not only with Allie's talent, but just her her leadership and her will to play, if you can get her back, that's a big deal. So we're working right now to see, is it manageable to do with a graduate program where she's going to have clinical hours and things like that? Because I think her grad school is going to be pretty demanding. But if we can work with that and we can figure it out and be a little bit flexible with some things, I have high hopes that we can get her back at least into some sort of capacity and be a part of this team.
That'd be great. Regardless of her, you will have a great nucleus back next year. That's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, definitely. So, Allie, like you said, is our only senior. So we have a lot of talent on this team. I really like what we have coming back, even though the season was shortened, that we got a lot of really good experience. And I think especially for our freshmen and our sophomores, that like this is still a little bit new to them. Like they kind of got half a season to figure that out, and now they get a redo. So it's kind of crazy to think of it like that. But I think just having them come back with even a year and a half under their belt is going to make them so strong going into next year. And we add a really good group with them, with our two freshmen that are coming in. So I'm really excited about what we have back, and I think definitely a lot of potential.
I'll get your thoughts on the freshmen here in a little bit. Today's broadcast sponsor is Parkcrest Dental Group, also Missouri State Bookstore. Shop online at MissouriStateBookstore.com for all your bearwear needs. Well, it was kind of neat. You had a chance to meet newly inducted Missouri State Athletic Hall of Fame inductee Marta Rubina in February. How was that? How'd the team handle that?
That was a really cool weekend for us. With the program being suspended in 2006, there was kind of just that disconnect of when I was hired and I got to come in, like not knowing all of the history there was before that. Like, I knew they had won in 2002 and they had had a lot of success in the early 2000s, but like hadn't had a lot of connection with those alumni. So to have someone of Marta's capabilities come back and receive that honor of getting inducted, it was so great to actually get to meet her. We had matches at home that weekend, so she got to come out and see one of the matches. She got to meet the team. So I think for the girls to see someone that had come before them and someone who had been extremely successful and have paved the way, it was really a great experience for them to meet her. And I think it was really fun for her too, just to she was very happy, obviously, that tennis was back and that we were doing well. So it was just kind of a really good connection to make, and it opened the doors up. In this off time, I've been working a lot on trying to connect with more alumni, and I've actually had time to do that now. So she's been really helpful in just kind of bridging that gap and getting that connection back to those alumni that I don't know very well.
Coach, you had talked a little bit about the great facilities you have here in Springfield. I drive around a lot and see a lot of people right now, even though they're not supposed to be probably, but playing tennis outdoors. The weather's been great. Talk about your facilities and what you guys have with the weather, being nice and sometimes when it's not nice.
Yeah, no, Cooper, like I said, Cooper is a fantastic facility. They have 16 outdoor courts, and then they have the 12 indoor courts. And the outdoor courts are great. Anytime that we can get outside, we love to get outside. It's wonderful that it's all at one complex. It's not like you're out at a park and then it rains and you have to drive somewhere. We're really fortunate that if we're out at practice and it's outside and then it starts raining, we can literally walk 100 feet inside and we have indoor courts. So it's an amazing facility. They just redid the indoor. The indoor was already nice, and last summer they completely repaved and redid the lighting and everything. So it's a top of the line facility, and we're extremely lucky to be able to call it home and to be able to use it. And it's kind of a unique thing as well that, it functions as a public park facility as well, and they have members and things like that out there. So, some of the kids that are in junior programs out there, like, they'll come watch our matches, or, we have adults that are out there that they just love tennis and then they're coming to our matches. So it's a really special place that, even though it's not directly on campus, it's 2 miles away from campus, but we hit all of these other people that just love tennis and want to support. So it's a really fun environment, and I think it gives us a way to even have more fans out there.
Absolutely. Coach, today's fan question is courtesy of Greek Corner, Missouri State Athletics' official screen printing partner. And our fan question is, you were roughly midway through your season when it was brought to an abrupt halt. How would you summarize the first half of the season?
I think we saw a lot of potential. I think we were in a good spot to where we needed to be. I think we were definitely going to be in contention for that Valley championship for sure. Like I said, the 4 wins that we had at that time, very proud of them. They were great team wins and they were really good, but there was definitely a few that slipped away. So that's always frustrating as a coach that, you can be so close and have some of those slip. But kind of the constant message I had for the girls was, if these are slipping away, this is the time to do it. You never want to lose a non-conference match, but remember how this feels. We don't want to feel like this in April. So I would say we were in a good spot. I think it could have been better for sure, but I think we were in a good spot and we were setting ourselves up to have a really successful April.
Got to ask you about the team and the GPA, obviously in fall really well. Kids are in class, I guess, online right now. Talk about academics for your players.
Yeah, no, academics is really important for us. Obviously, they have the goal that they want to go be a professional tennis player. That's wonderful, and I'm going to support them. But 99% of the ones that come through here and come through us they're going to go on to a career in whatever that is. So school is extremely important for them to not only get good grades, but to have the degree that they want to achieve. So academics is definitely something we stress. We've done really well every year that I've been here, and I'm just really proud of them. Yeah, they had the highest GPA in the athletic department in the fall. That's our goal, to have that every year. It's definitely kind of a wrench has been thrown into it that they're online, but I've been keeping up to date with them every week, and so far it seems like that they're doing really well online. And that's Missouri State's done an amazing job of making that transition, because it's not easy, and the professors have been really good about working through those kinks with them and all of that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll do well here again in the spring. But no, academics is something we take really seriously, and that's an award that we're all really proud of.
Absolutely. Well, you'd mentioned the incoming players, the incoming athletes. Talk a little bit about those two and how you see them fitting in.
Yeah, so we've got 2 freshmen coming in, Tiffany Nash, who's from Shreveport area in Louisiana, and then Mary Houston, who's from Fayetteville, Arkansas. So, we've had some success recruiting out of the southern section, which is what it's known as in tennis terms. Allie on our team right now is from Arkansas, and Taylor Shaw, who's a freshman on our team this year, is from Little Rock. So we've definitely had some success coming out of that area. So I mean, I'm looking forward to them getting here. I've gotten to see them play a lot in juniors, and they're going to be ready to go. I think both of them are going to make a huge impact on the lineup right away. They're both really excited to be here. I think it helps too that they knew each other coming out of junior tennis and were friends with it, which that's not always the case. A lot of times you have freshmen come in that they've never met each other, they don't know each other. So this is the first time that I've had two freshmen come in and have had, they've known each other since they were kids. They've been playing since they were 10. So it's exciting to have that dynamic right away. I think it'll make their transition a lot easier, and they definitely both have the talent to come in right away and just really make an impact on our line. I'm really looking forward to having them here.
And Coach, I'll end with a question about recruiting right now. Obviously the season is over, but you can do some recruiting. I guess it's more online than anything, right?
Right. So yeah, we can't go out and actually watch any matches, but the USTA, who runs all of the junior tournaments, has suspended all tournaments anyway, so there's no tournaments to go watch. So it's not really affecting, every tennis coach right now is pretty much in the same boat. We can't get out there. There's no tournaments to watch. So yeah, everything's pretty much online. There's still email. We can still call. And that's definitely something that's going on. But, hopefully summer for me is a huge recruiting time. And hopefully by July, or at least by August, that those tournaments will be up and running, and hopefully we can get back out there. But no, recruiting never stops. Even in a pandemic, it seems like it somehow keeps going. So making those phone calls and still reaching out to prospects, because, that class is important, and we're definitely going to have to fill those spots.
Absolutely. Coach, great job today. Always fun to visit with another Metro East native. So wish you the best of luck this summer. Hopefully you'll get back at it real soon, and we'll get to the fall season unscathed and ready to go.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
You bet. This has been Inside the Cave, presented by Parkcrest Dental Group, the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletics. Be sure to tune in next time. Marta will visit with head baseball coach Keith Gutton.